Hi there, good morning. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. Welcome to another installment of Mrs. Cratchit's Holiday Household book in my Tis the Season series. Hold on, then let me put my timer on so I don't talk too much. So I finished sewing the signatures onto the template, and then, as I usually do, if I've made a junk journal from an old book, it's usually just as easy to use one of the original pages to back it. It glues it down. That anchors your threads, which is a nice thing. Think about it. If you've glued the back down, it means that even if one of your stitches breaks, like this is a 6-hole running stitch, and if one of them happens to break, because the back is glued, these two will still hold the signature in place. So it's just a nice little safety measure to glue the back down and keep your signatures safe. So there's our little facial tissues that we did. And I did look into poinsettias, and they were being grown in England by about the 1830s and 40s. From what I know, they must have had to grow them in greenhouses because I'm not an expert, but from what I understand, in order to get these brilliant red leaves, and of course now whatever color it happens to be, it has to be forced. They keep them in darkness and then bring them out into bright light, and that forces the upper leaves to turn a beautiful color, because it looks like it's a flower, but if you look closely at a poinsettia, it's all a plant. It's all leaves. My first mother-in-law actually used to keep hers. She had a real flair with poinsettia plants. Yes, they would lose the colored part. Those leaves would drop, but the rest of the plant would still keep growing into a nice, great, big, bushy plant. And she'd put them outside in the summertime, and that's up here in Canada. So she'd transplant them and put them right out into her garden. So there you go. So I'm sure the wealthy Victorians had access to poinsettias, but not necessarily the poorer ones. I can't imagine that they would have. Poinsettia is one of those things that drives my husband crazy, because he says, "It's poinsettia," and I always say, "It is not. Take a look at it. Look how it's spelled. It's poinsettia." It's one of our little bugaboos. So you call it whatever you like. I call it a poinsettia. It's just like Wednesday instead of Wednesday, or Good King Wenceslas, not Good King Wenceslas, that sort of thing. It's one of my really freaky little bugaboos about pronunciation. Not that I have the best. Anyhow, so yesterday we worked on reinforcing the top and the bottom with the lace, and wow, I am so happy with it. I really like how it turned out, and it's lovely and strong now. This is it's everything I hoped it would be, and it's still nice and floppy and openy closey. Those are official junk journal terms. Openy closey. Now I want to put my my work pad back in place. The work pad helps me to remember to keep what I'm working on in camera. So let me stand up and make sure that I am, and I am. Excellent. And I'm just going to tape it. I have tape up there so I don't bump it and move it. There we go. That's good. So now I made a artistic decision. When I found that new book of wrapping paper when I was thrifting the other day, one of them I just couldn't resist, so I've made new end papers using a sheet from the Roses wrapping paper book. Let me find it for you. This book, if you recall. I hope that's not too shiny. I just fell in love with this, and it's perfect. And as I said, the Victorians loved roses for Christmas. So, in their Christmas decorating. So I love it. So this will go in here like that. Imagine that's already laid down. It would look like that. I want to play with this a bit. I do want to ink the edges a bit, and I wish I'd done it before I sewed it together, but of course, you know. So let's just do it anyways. And I think I want to put some gilding wax on it and a bit of stenciling. So let me find the stencil that I'm looking for. There it is. I want to use this one. Alrighty. So, and you can probably tell because I'm here. I had my booster. It went great. I'm just getting a piece of paper down here. It went great. My arm just feels a little bit bruised, the way you do when you get your regular flu shot. So that makes me happy. Now I want gathered twigs. I just want it light. So I'm just going to gently go around the edge. You know what I need? I know what I need, because it's too floppy. I need something firm underneath. See what I mean? How this would have been easier if I had come up with this brilliant idea before I sewed it all together. Oh well. We're doing it now. We have ways. I've got to be more gentle. Okay. Now, gold. Gold, gold, gold. Let's get it. Gold. I'm going to get a wet wipe ready because I always get this all over my hands. Now I just want to cut this in half. These wet wipes are huge and I don't need them this big. There we go. Okay, that's handy and ready. Okay, let me make sure I am in. So I'm using my Gilding Wax, which is, come on, this one, Pebeo. Can't see, it's wearing off. Empire Gold. I just got it on Amazon. Now, I want to play with this. I want to do a little bit here. I wish I had a gold stamp pad. I do. I'm wondering if I should use my gold stamp pad instead of Gilding Wax. Let's see. I have this. Now I need a brush. this one ever been used? I don't think so. Let's see. Here, I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's play with this a bit, shall we? And see if I actually like it. I think this is dried up. I think I didn't use it in time. That really doesn't look any different than my linen, the antique linen. Now I think I have another one somewhere. That's obviously dried up. I didn't use it in time. Hold on, I'm over here. Because I do think I have another one somewhere. Oh, it's teeny tiny. It came in a kit. It came in a kit. It's got several different, but let's see. You never know. And if not, I have another one that's an unusual color. Let's just try that. Yeah, I don't like it. I have one that I treated myself to at the checkout at Michael's a couple weeks ago. And it's sort of a dusky green color. It looks kind of gray, but it's not. It's green. Maybe that would be unusual. No. I like it, and I do think I'll use it in my winter lore book. But I don't think it's for this. Well, I wonder if I should just go with my antique linen. I'm nervous to use this. Maybe I should play a little bit with it. It's all about having fun, right? But I'm worried that there's going to be chunks. Yeah, and see, rightly so. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Let's get all this cleaned off. All right, glad I didn't just go in with it. This is not the place to use it. Another time. Oh. Okay. We will use, after all that, we're going to go in with antique linen. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a paper towel, guys. I just want to make sure this is thoroughly dry and thoroughly free of the gilding wax. Yep. Okay. All right, let's do a little test run of the antique linen and make sure that we like it. That really does look goldish. See, I don't think it's going to show up. Maybe it's time for a good old vintage photo. Maybe I need to stop being so fussy. I'm just going to clean this off. This is that blank one. All right, vintage photo. Oh, see? Don't be so aggressive, Catherine. Gentle. Start in the center and move out. Yeah. All right. Yep. That's the one. Vintage photo, but not aggressive. All right. So you're probably thinking, why are you doing this to that page that you worked hard on? I feel like it still needs something. And the Victorians loved embellishment. They loved sparkle, and they loved gluing things on and ribboning things on, and so I feel like this still needs a little something. That's twigs. This is blank. Hold on. I just want to ease myself onto this so that I don't get a blob of dark vintage photo. Oh, don't move. Not sure why I've still got that on there. All right. Yes. Okay. Happy. Now I want a little down here like that. Just off the edge of the paper. Yep. Okay. And then I want this one like that. I had a nice talk with one of my brothers today. I have a brother who lives a few hours north of me. He's on his own up there. He's an artist, and he's very much the way you envision artists. He's quite a recluse. We're quite lucky if he answers his phone, and it's just who he is, and we've all sort of come to accept that it's just who he is, and he doesn't mean it to be mean to anyone. It's just part of his quirkiness. Yeah, I like that much better. Anyhow, he phoned me. It's so sweet. You're gonna love this. He wants to get a cell phone. Time to get a cell phone. And he said, I guess you must think that's nuts. I'm finally getting a cell phone. And I said, no, I don't. I think, first of all, I love that you're living your own life and that you're not like those people that, are connected at the hip with their cell phones. But you've recognized that maybe it's time. And I said, and it's a good thing to have. It's nice. You're safe. You can make a phone call if you need to in an emergency. And now, of course, with our vaccine passports, they prefer if it's on your phone because they can scan it and find out right away that you've had all your required shots to do certain things, such as restaurants or movies or that sort of thing, right? I said, no, you're smart. You're a smart man. You'll be able to figure this out. So he had some questions. Yeah, I like that much better. So we had a lovely catch up. It was very nice to talk to my brother again. I feel like he's when he was a career man, he was a high school art teacher who was head of the art department. I want to get in there. But I feel like I got my Bachelor of Arts at the same time. I was in high school at the time, and I was a whiz with a typewriter. And back then, and I'm sure it's the same now, but kids nowadays, they can type because they grow up on computers. Yeah, that's better. He couldn't type when he was in university. And so I typed out all his essays for him. And I feel like I got my Bachelor of Arts at the same time because I would take it back. His bedroom was in the basement, and I'd take it down and I'd say, this section doesn't make sense. Or this, are you sure you want it this way? What about this way? And he'd make some edits, and I'd type it up again manually on an old Underwood typewriter, one of those old black ones that you see in antique shops now. That's what I learned on. Yeah, I like that much better. A little bit more a little bit more zhuzh. Yeah, paper. I still want a bit. What a shame that just want a little bit of, yeah. I can see a bit of sparkle without having glitter. I don't want to open any glitter. But I do want a little bit of sparkle here and there. Come on. Anyhow, yeah, I feel like my brother gave me my Bachelor of Arts at the same time from all my typing for him. He used to pay me $1 a page. So it was nice to catch up with him. And he sounded good. I hope this is showing up on the screen. There, how's that for getting your hands in on it? That looks much better. Much better, much happier. I know it's going to look busy with the end papers, but the Victorians were busy decorators. If you look in their houses that are still decorated that way or such, there was just pattern everywhere, on the wallpaper, in the fabrics, in the curtains, in the artwork hanging up. Pattern everywhere. Yeah, love that. So even though this is roses, I do think that there's a nice flow. Now I still may do an overlay of some old yellowy vellum over this. I'm going to pause and go get some. Hold on. Okay, this vellum is from, let me turn off this overhead light. That's better. This is from Camille. Thank you, Camille. Yeah, I like that. Now I am going to, something I do with vellum, if I'm going to do an overlay of it on an opening page, I have a really cool cutting board. That has a scalloping blade on it. I just got this at Staples. It's not my favorite, but I find I can get into little tighter spaces and more accurately for a cutting board, just using my good old Fiskars orange and white board. But this one, I really like this scallopy edge option with it, so it's pretty well the only time I use it, because I find I can't get it a very accurate cut on it. So I just use it for that. But that's enough that I do use it. So there we go. I'm just lining it up here and here. Now I'm going to move it down here and then cut. There. I don't know if you can see, it has a little scallop. Now, I'm going to lay this down and see where I want the other side scalloped as well, because sometimes I can't snug it quite in. Oh, all right, well, that'll do. Sometimes I can't snug it right in, and the scallop ends up looking pretty anyways. So let's do this. Now, where is that? There it is. Oh, you're being a stinker. It doesn't want to cut this old vellum. We have ways. There we go. I came at it from the other direction. That'll still all get used on something else. So yeah, that's what this thing is. Staples. So I don't necessarily recommend it. Oh, no. I don't necessarily recommend it. But I don't hate it now that I've got it. Would I go out and get it again? No, I don't think I would. But I forget when I got it, but there was some reason why it wasn't. See, that doesn't look even. I'm looking at this. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's weird. I forget. There was a good reason why I ended up not returning it. Might have been the pandemic. I wish I'd brought that in a bit more. And now I bet it's going to give me a hard time. I like that. Well, I may end up giving it a smooth end. Oh well. Let's use a bit of pencil mark. See whether my good old Fiskars can do the job. See, I just find with this Fiskars, I can really get in. I know where the blade cuts. I feel like I can be more accurate with it. Now, I wonder if I can ink this, because see how these ends are naturally yellowed just from age, because it is old vellum. I'm going to use Vintage Photo, and I'm going to see if I can go in and match up that orangey edge. This is quite orangey. And then rub it a bit. Oh, come on. There, I think we matched that up quite well. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to look nice. Oh, my phone's... No, that's going to fit. That's going to fit. Okay, so what I will do is art glitter glue. Dries clear, and I can get a nice fine little line. I'm going to run... How am I for time? 28 minutes. Okay. I'm going to run a little bead down the edge of that paper. You know what? I'm going to wait. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm still going to be flopping open and working in this book. And this is quite delicate. I want it to be the last thing I put in. It's tough. It'll be okay once this is a fully made little diary. But for the time being, I think I'm going to hold off and put this in at the end. So I'm going to save it and put it aside. But this will give you a little idea of what that's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? I'm very happy with that. And then the diary writer will be able to flip that back. And oh my goodness. Oh, I love how this turned out. Now I'm really happy with that. That looks really, really pretty. And it makes an old textbook that has nothing to do with Christmas feel Christmassy. Yes, I'm happy. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, whatever time it is you're watching. And take care, and we'll get together soon. Bye.